What up? What up? Wait a second. Shit, give me a second, guys. All right. The hell is Mix It Up doing right now? Yeah. AJ. Thank you for the resub. I was beginning to think you would never speak up. That was tricks. It's tricking. You're being tricking. It'd be tricky. Good to see you, buddy. Yeah. I wanted to stream a little bit earlier, but hell, I just had everything happen within an instant. God, it's been a while. Let me get the YouTube all ready to go, and then we could start animating here. Or we could start, just shooting the shit. How you been, sir? How you been doing? Last week of school, yeah. I'm actually doing an extra week for my class. I'm doing like one more review for them. I tend to do like 11 weeks, but then an extra week just for review because my last assignment is usually pretty tough on the kids. So, I do one extra one just to do like a free for all critique. I become Reddit on the last week. You can just ask me anything, Just came from AM dailies. Nice. You teach at AM? For the kids. Yeah. Them kids, man. Some of them kids are coming up doing shit that I never could do. But a lot of these kids, they don't know shit about animation, dude. We're old as fuck, man. They don't know any industry names. They don't know any of like the old classic animes. They all know like the new live action shit. They don't even know what the hell they're talking about. What up, Vanity? What's going on, dude? What's up, my guy? Welcome in. Yeah, right. Who is Glenn Keane? Nobody knows that. Like, do you know, like, I actually remember asking, do you guys know who Tim Burton is? And they were like, would it come again? And I was like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, Brad Bird? And you're like, oh, yeah, I think I know him, right? He did Toy Story, right? Close enough. You forgot to ask, were you able to get my friend request on Conquer? Oh, no, sorry, I didn't. I totally wasn't checking on Discord. Okay. Let me see. Which one are you? Kid Pizza? That you? Yeah, we got Vanity in the chat. A pro baller out there chasing money. Bringing in money. Quite a few more followers too. I know, right? It actually pays off when you're advertising yourself, when you're submitting animations, so... Just Vanity. I have the Liu Wang profile. I don't think I got you, man. No, I don't see it on there, man. My bad. Yeah, just try to hit me up again. If not, I'll look in adding you. No worries, dog. Yeah, and shout out to all the like over the past 3 days. Shout out to all the new followers out there, man. I appreciate it. Was it Park 444, Lee Mojo, Furious Lario, Udit, Clown God, Geki CP, Talk Sitter, LR85, Jim Boy. Oh yeah, Jim Boy was in the last stream. I signed right off when MigTunes rated us. What's the plan for the stream tonight? I tested out this Hornet rig, and I think I'm gonna do a little animation on this one. I'm gonna have her jam out on her needle like an electric guitar. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna maybe check out a trailer or two. Guys have been dropping in the chat the new trailer. They wanted me to look at the new Street Fighter character, so I'm gonna take a look at that one as well. Jamming with some Jimmy. Nice. I searched live 3D animations but couldn't find anything. But now the amazing Brad is online, so I don't need to search anymore. I'm here. You found me. I don't know about amazing, but it's hard to live up to that. But I'm here. You found me. Welcome in. Welcome to the Anim Jam. Let's kick it off, shall we? What's up? What's up? Yeah, welcome in. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate that. Parkour. Yeah, guys, I figured I'm gonna try my hand at doing like a little bit of animation tonight on this new rig. I got this rig a while back. I don't know if you guys are big into Hollow Knight or any shit. I fucking love Hollow Knight. But I'm very wary on rigs that are being done by her. But this rig seems to be right up my alley, so I'm gonna do a little bit of that. I think like what I want to try to do is just do some animation on this and eventually do like another combo attack, because a lot of people are here from the Rogue Tifa animation. Thank you, welcome, I appreciate it. I've been getting a lot of good feedback on that. Besides the camera shake, I gotta lay out on the camera shake, so you guys were all good to stiff me on that. Yeah, the camera shake. I'm a shaky kind of guy. When I animated this damn thing, I was in the middle of an earthquake, so my bad, everybody. But yeah, welcome in. I'm Brad for show. I animate. There's a lot of us animators in the chat too, in the community. So please feel free, if you're curious, ask a question about animating. If you like Hollow Knight, well, you're in the right place tonight. And if you just want to shoot the shit, we're all ears. But that's every day in Cali. Yeah, man, we got a little rain today. It was just for like 20 minutes, and then nothing but sunshine. So I was like, man, I almost felt like somebody did a flyby, you know? Stefan, what up, dog? How you doing? All right, gang. Shit, what should we do? I gotta catch up. There's a lot of shit that just got dropped over the past 3 days. You know, what we got? 2 new character trailers that dropped. We got Xbox that, you know, terminated 3 studios. Fuck Xbox. And damn, we got GTA 6 pre-orders. How about that? Oh yeah, Unreal too. Unreal 6 just jumped on and said, hey, remember you guys that just opened up 5 to take a look at it? Well, we just got 6 for you. 6 is coming. 6 is coming. It's coming hard. Whether you like it or not, and guess what? NVIDIA, we're partnering with NVIDIA. And they're gonna have like full-blown AI chips in it. And you know, like in fact, you don't even need to open it up anymore. You just need to talk to it. It reads your thoughts, you know, it throws kids' birthday parties, you know, it does your laundry. Trust me, like if we could use AI to cure cancer, we would, but dude, look at these graphics, right? Look at these hot ass graphics. This is definitely some shit that I want to see in the future. All right. Oh, what's up? Welcome in. What's up? What's up, Clown? Clown, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Yeah, let's get to it, guys. Yeah, I've been playing around with this rig last stream. So this one's pretty fun. I got probably gonna take a look and see what we could do with this one tonight. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we do like a little Anim breakdown? Should we take a look at some of these trailers? Because like somebody was asking me to look at that new Street Fighter character. I don't know. Don't quite know. But yeah, everybody welcome into the Discord too. I see you. Yeah, I see you guys. Do it. Do it. Do it. I do it. I do it. Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and take a look. Get out of here, GPT. All right. Let me see. Let me download this. What's the new one? Yasmin? We can take a look at this one. I've been meaning to check out. I'm surprised they dropped a whole new gameplay character trailer that quick, man. Capcom ain't fucking around, dude. They're like, we're here to stay. We're here to make this a 10-year. We're here to make this a 10-year, motherfucker. I need to make this like a GIF. Give everybody something to look at while you're watching me download illegal shit. So this must be, yeah, this is a new one. Let's get out the old sync sketch. Yeah, I appreciate all the love and all the feedback, guys. I definitely know what to do to kind of reduce that that last animation that I had. Okay, we got Cyclops. Psych is out of there. That's right. I got that Cyclops rig too. We could probably open that up and play with it a little bit. All right, Yasmin. Oh, come on. Are we seriously going to do that? We're going to play that game? Sync sketch? Are you seriously going to play that game with me right now? I don't know about sync sketch. I don't know about like buying more space, more data. I think that software is getting way in over its head. Even though it's a good software, it's so atrocious how many times I have to like, they can't even do like some of the simplest things like adding and subtracting a project to your folder. All right, let's take a look at some animation, shall we? Let's see. Oh, what up? Welcome in. Welcome in. Yeah, I'm trying, dude. I'm trying to get my shit together. Give me a second. All right. Here we go. Ugh. All right. Anim Jam breakdown. I guess we could take a look and talk about it a little bit. I haven't seen this character quite yet, but everybody's been blowing up my feed saying, like, bro, take a look at this. Take a look at this. She's amazing. She's hot. She's new. She's fresh. And then by the time it, you know, and then by the time you release it, you guys are gonna be like playing her for about a week, and then like posting videos about why she's broke, why she's not fun, what's wrong with Street Fighter, what's happening to the game, yada yada yada. The animation isn't realistic, bro. Like Ryu punched a fireball into existence, and that was 1987, man. Street Fighter characters don't walk; they announce themselves. They're kicking our ass, that's for sure. All right, let's see. All right, gang. Yeah, let's take a look at this new character. Let's see. Can I full screen this? What's happening here? Right, Scene Sketch is here. I got that. Shit. Bro, yeah, I don't need that. And so all right. Scene Sketch is here. Cool. All right, sweet. All right, what's up, peeps? Let's take a look at this new trailer. This seems to be Street Fighter's newest addition to the roster. So we're on season 4 right now. Good God, and we haven't got Tifa yet. I don't think anybody cares about any of these other characters, but Tifa's kind of the number one. So take a look at this one and break it down. I will scroll my pen over things that I think need to be called out, as any good animator and artist does these days. But yeah, this is a new character that just dropped. I think her name is Yasmin. So no, I didn't do a screenshot, but yeah, let's just take a look and see what's up. Let's see our competition. I said, let's see our competition.
I hit the streets to prove that I'm a fighter. Keep up if you can.
She's got a weapon. Crazy kicks. She's got a lot of short range attacks. Dude, if that isn't smoke, I'm on drugs. That was a cool one. Oh, Tensho kicks. That's a cool move. That's a cool one. What was that? Dude, that animation just like went from like an 8 to a what the fuck was that I just watched? Cat fight! I like the Tensho kicks. Okay, here's the ultimate. This is a long trailer. I feel like I'm just watching new versions of Strings. Wow.
That was too easy. That sounded kind of cool.
And then her assets changed. All right, I think that one was a bit overkill. That was a lot of information just dropped in a, like, how long is this trailer? Like, what are we even looking at right now? Let's see. How do I change, like, what was it, the time limit on this stuff? How do I like get the show the time code? Yeah, that was like a near damn 3-minute trailer. That's a lot of info to take in. Yeah, the character looks pretty cool. I think the one thing that really stuck out to me around this whole trailer is that her attacks feel very, very short range. Like, she feels very contained. And a big component of that is that when you watch that, like, this character does not move her spine a lot. She feels very, very stiff. Like, well, like stiff in a good way, like grounded. But a lot of her attacks really don't have like a lot of push or weight shift or anything like that. She has a very centered core. That's like the big thing that I was noticing. I mean, obviously not as big as the other characters or broad, but a lot of the stuff that she does revolves around like her waving and moving her hands and arcing around her body than anything. That's the one big thing that stuck out to me. So she's got a weapon. She's basically got the same hook that we got for smoking MK1. Yeah. Is that like a double-sided one or something like that? Okay, yeah. No, it's the same weapon. I forgot what they call those weapons. I love the hair. The hair is radical, man. So this is a new character, right? This is a new character. This isn't like a classic character or anything like that. Like, I don't think she was in any other Street Fighter games or anything like that. Pose is cool. I like how they're incorporating like the font of her name into this weapon that she's got, adding a little bit of like hairs on the end and stuff like that. Some pretty radical colors. Straight 80s, you know what I mean? Yeah, what up, Jade? What's going on? Welcome in. Yeah, I think the design's pretty rocking. Design's pretty bitchin'. Look at those crazy anime eyebrows. Like they almost look like falcon eyebrows. It's pretty sweet. But yeah, very contained. Like this character, so like this is kind of like her A core. Let me get another color over here. It's like her A core that she's like really grounded through here. But then she kind of lives in that A core, you know, like even especially when she's doing her attacks, like still that same stance, right? Same stance. Like, and you barely see that core move. Like there's hardly any push in and out with that with her spine and stuff like that, which really stuck out to me. So that's why they feel very contained. They're utilizing a hell of a lot of effects in order to kind of get that punch. I got to start studying some of these camera shakes because people were bitching about my camera shakes. But I guess I kind of see the point. Like just subtle stuff, I guess. Subtle stuff and like freezing in on the hit attacks, which really gets you noticing kind of like the hit attacks. You got ads. Go to my YouTube. I'm streaming on my YouTube too. Actually, speaking of my YouTube, shit. Sorry about that. Chat. Chitter chatters. Let me hit up my studio really quickly. Did it jump back into it? Okay, I think this is fine for now. Then I got to switch it later. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, that's like the biggest thing. Like a lot of her movesets just around, like even through here too. Like I noticed that like this is her barely in anticipation, really quick hits. With these are like quick attacks, but then even standing in that same pose too, and just rotating to the next attack too. You know, that's the things that are really sticking out to me on that one. There's not really too much movement. And it's not a bad thing. I just prefer a little bit more shape difference, like shape language, a little bit more breakage of how the shape is like really letting us know what's happening. Like for this, for example, this is a really strong pose. And then we go from there to like there at the bottom, you know, like we're going from top to bottom throughout her moveset. I like her. The kicks feel great though. Like her kicks that she's doing, they're feeling pretty good, especially the Tencho stuff. as well. Is this a dodge or something that they do? I haven't played Street Fighter in a while. Just check this out. Okay, I didn't even know. I didn't even know she like threw that little sword that she's got. I think that's something that could be a little bit more telegraphed, kind of like a little bit more showboaty, a little bit more of a heavier anticipation probably help with that. But yo, this who flips like that? Interesting landing right there. I think that's kind of cool. Straight up like X pose. I dig it. Nice little recovery there, I think. What are these guys? I don't even know what was this supposed to be through here? This is just her pushing her down? Is this a command grab? Like the physics are working, especially with Kimberly. I think it feels nice, but I don't know how I feel about that. That one feels kind of lame. Like that little jitter that she's got with the arm over there feels very, very kind of like in between through there. It doesn't really feel like there's too much polish or kind of direction on what she's supposed to be doing next. Don't get me wrong, like she's a short character, but like seriously, like this couldn't just be a slam or something or fall, just a throw. It looks like, yeah. That's a very contained throw. That's like if somebody throws you and just says, "I don't want you to hit the ground too hard." You know, like just like a very hold back throw. Like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did you hurt yourself?" But shit, that follow up knee hit felt really good. See, this is good. See, this is good anticipation, right? You got like this energy to that energy, right there. Like that's some good hit transfer right there. So wherever that throw landed, I guess don't worry about that part, but you're going to feel this part, That's going to feel good. Yeah, a lot of her strings and stuff basically just revolve around her standing in that one area, which is kind of cool. Like hopefully she'd be like a little faster character. It kind of sucks too because I guarantee you whatever's happening through here with the blade that she's got, we're not seeing any of that stuff. We're not seeing any flippity flip. We're not seeing any swipety swipe. We're not probably seeing all those like little surgical details they probably added into that, like all this stuff. One, the weapon's too small. Two, she's moving way too fast. And three, you got, all these giant freaking condiment stains all over the screen, Dude, this is totally Smoke, man. I saw this and I'm like, go watch the intro to Smoke in MK1. And I'm like, all right, they're pulling shit out of our playbook, which is fine. I'm not hating, but it's just like I tell everybody, being an artist or being an animator is just stealing shit. When you steal from one person, you're a thief. When you steal from a bunch of people, you're smart. You're a genius. But yeah, this is just totally straight up Smoke. So that would make them a thief, possibly. Yeah, I got to go back on how I phrased that. Now, this is pretty cool. I like, the subtleness of her feet work are really working for me too. And look at this, guys. Call me crazy, but they got the toes. They got the toe animation in there too. We got feet animation too as well. Do we have like crunch? Do you have like little crunch-o-matics? That's a hard joint right there too, if I ever saw one. Funny thing is, when I animated Sigma in Overwatch, he was barefooted too as well, and I was so ready to animate his toes, and they just said, no, you don't need to animate that, which is kind of bullshit in the long run, because people will notice that stuff. People will see that detail that you're putting on this character. Yeah, I like how they're really sturdy. They're looking at this as, this wrap that's happening on the feet. What's up with the feet? Bro, this is an animation channel, dude. We analyze everything. And don't act like you don't like feet, What are you, a weirdo or something? Now, what I like about it is that these strong wraps prevent the legs from breaking or prevent the ankles from moving or swaying. So, like, this back and forth is what I tell people all the time. Like, notice how the toes are gripping there. We're releasing pressure. The toes are going off. And then we're feeling that bank, that pan over the feet too as well. People don't understand this, especially when it comes to junior animators too. They think, oh, I just plant an IK foot and then let the animation work around it. No, in order to make your animation feel grounded and stable, dude, you got to pay attention to all this stuff. If your character has a boot, it's the same thing. You know, you're pushing off your ball of your toe, you're pivoting around the ankle. You know, you're keeping this part in particular, you're keeping that very stable and solid as you're moving back and forth too. You know, that's what we look at when it comes to, you know, animating good foot placement. This is cool too as well. Like look at that plant. They just got just enough off the ball of that heel, and those toes are digging into the ground. I love it. That's a lot of footwork over there. Shit. I feel like some of this feels a little like the weight transfer feels a little light through here. Let me see. Why is that? Yeah, it's probably this part. It was this part. Yeah. You're on this toe. Your weight transfer is coming back, and then like you're barely placing any weight on this leg. That's what felt a little light. This pose is pretty dope though. Spread the toes. Yeah. I love it. That's just extra shit to animate, guys. You think you got it bad with fingers, with 10 fingers on a character? Imagine animating a character with toes too. Then you got 20 things. Then you got 20 fucking things to worry about, right? Especially like who's that character? Who's that? Oh, shit, I forgot. Remind me, guys. Who's that Street Fighter character who's all about her feet? Like picking people up with her feet. You know, the more feet character you got, the more time you're staying late at the studio to get this shit done. It's like, it's all balls out, you know. Cammy? No, I think it's Jury. Yeah, Jury, that psycho chick. Let me see if I'm calling that out right. Yes, yeah, definitely correct. Jury basically, you could put her foot in the character select menu, and that would be enough just to kind of like show you like what it takes to actually be a good foot animator. By the way, if you guys ever apply for fighting games, go ahead and put that on your resume. I animate feet. I love animating feet. You'll get a call back for sure. You know, that's what fighting games all about, man. We're just a bunch of foot people who love feet. If you couldn't tell by now. We're a bunch of freaks. No, it's really cool. I like the pose. I think her hitting this pose is a little stiff on the upper body. It's like A to B. The pose is nice, but the transfer, how you get into it, is pretty A to B. But she feels pretty like again, she's a very stiff, solid character. You know, like very rooted into the core. Not like very mobile or very flexible. I doubt this had anything to do with their production schedule on this character. Because here's the thing, guys. I've been around the block a couple of times. A lot of times when it comes to developing a character or releasing a character, you have a window, like let's just say maybe 3 months, 4 months, something like that. Especially when it comes to DLC. And if you get to the point where a new character is being made, such as this, and you're not really sure how to implement, let's just say, a moveset or a personality trait or just something that makes sense of who that character is, you fall behind schedule. And what we tend to do around that time, say like halfway into schedule, we start reusing shit, or we start really cheating animation. You know what I mean? We start really, really hearkening back and saying, okay, we know we probably only got a week to animate this. Our prototypes aren't looking quite as well, or maybe the idea is not working. Quick, what other assets is in the game that we can take or use really quick? You know what I mean? We do that all the time in Overwatch, or we did that all the time in Overwatch. Probably don't do it as more too because they finally had some sense knocked into them that they don't need a sequel. But yeah, that's how two of our characters got started. We started with a base. It didn't work. We totally reworked them from the ground up. We were like, what are they going to do for a melee? We try a melee. It sucked. We try another melee. It sucked. All of a sudden, we're like 4 weeks behind on a melee attack. So what do? Just grab a melee that works on the game and then call it your own. You know what I mean? So that's development scheduling, you know? People think, oh, God, you guys are so creative. I'm like, no, we just fucking steal shit. Again, we just take shit. Looks like they copied Cammy's hooligan for this character. Possibly. You know, I wouldn't deny it if they actually took like a couple playbooks from a couple other characters. This is a new character, right? So this has got to appeal to the kids out there. You know, we need to get some really crazy characters up in this piece. Spin kicks look pretty cool. This is a really interesting pose. I just don't know how it applies to the attack. Oh, it's the cut. Okay, yeah. It's the cut. Again, guys, like it's so I don't know, like I don't know how, and then this is just me personally. As I'm watching this, I'm forgetting she has a weapon altogether. And then when I'm watching this, I'm like, what am I watching? Until I slow it down. I'm like, oh, right, it's the weapon doing a cyclone stuff. Duh, you know. That's a cool one. Holy cow, man. She came in on the top rope with those spread legs, man. Snap! Hiya! That is called flying frog, by the way, guys. This is flying downward frog pose through the air. She's doing some fucking yoga up in there. But yeah, very contained stuff, right? Like, what I do like, though, I like how they're really incorporating kind of like as she's grounded. I like how she's got like a whirlwind of attacks. Like she's doing a lot of these crazy spread arm arc attacks like that. That's pretty cool. Like I'm really digging that part. It's almost like some Tai Chi type of movement in there that feels really, really, really kind of new. I don't think I've seen that quite before in other characters. So she's got some projectiles, a boomerang. Let's check this one out. Some camera shake in there too. See, oh God, like I think like getting into this pose feels nice, but it just goes by way too quick. Superhero landing. Hey, that's my rogue pose. They saw my rogue animation. They decided to make this character. Thanks, Capcom. Now that I know that you're watching, you could send the check. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about her jumping this high from that pose. Doesn't really feel like there's anything it feels kind of weak, like nothing's lifting at her, but the slam's feeling good. Like that downward slam's feeling dope. Okay, what's up with the screen? Like how are they doing screen shaking here? Wow, impact before she even hit the ground. Oh, okay. Oh, dude, look at all the potatoes and like the fruit and stuff in the background throwing back up. That's pretty sweet. Little details, guys. Small little details. That's cool. The 10 show kicks are probably my favorite thing that she's got through here. Look how they cut right into that move. They don't even set up for an anticipation. It goes from like 180 to 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 frames in a hit kick. Yeah. No, it feels good too. I wish they didn't have, we're going to go watch our ultimate frame data when it comes out. Just wish they didn't have all these effects. I could clearly see what I'm looking at. Yeah, these are hard to pull. Like these are hard to animate and make look good while feeling like they're impactful. Anytime you do a spin kick, guys, and you're trying to make impact while keeping the flow going, it's really tricky because you only have that leg to make feel heavy. And when the core isn't moving, you know, you really have to use a lot of tricks in order to make it feel heavy, which is why they're adding these little screen shakes in there too. It's got like a little bicycle kick in there as well. So how does this go? Okay, she kicks, she swings back, comes back again. That's cool. I dig it. Nice landing though too. Like I love that. That's really, really cool. Like look at that. Oh man, look at that twist. I dig that. Yeah. I think this is a gorgeous, gorgeous lead into. I like that. Coming in and landing. As soon as you land, striking a pose, holding. Oh, dude, was that her moving forward? Had something there. Was that like a dash forward? That looks pretty cool. What was that? Donkey kick. Yeah. Donkey kick. Okay. Really, really quick transitions. That's probably the coolest move that I've seen her do. It almost looks like a Yazuya drop through here. Like right in the middle of her front flip. It just cuts right into another front flip. That's so cool. I really dig that. How does she land out of that? Oh, wow. Like a one frame foot plant through here. That's cool. Yeah, I really like that. Like besides the kicks, yeah, the character just is very, very short, very quick strikes. Nothing really too much stands out to me. But yeah, a lot of like what she does is basically grounded in an A pose. That's cool. How did that happen? Let me check that out again. Spin blade attack, like Baraka. Okay, she's luchador in this one. Okay, so she's doing a Frankensteiner or 450 flash. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. I did not even make the connection the first time I saw it. Shoot my name. I can't shoot you, buddy. I don't do that stuff. Yeah, same thing here too, even with her taunt. You know, she's just got like a straight up A pose. I think that pose can be a little bit stronger. I don't know about you guys, but like I count 3 fingers. Oh, that's right. She's holding the right. Okay, so that index is in there. I was like, what happened to your hand all of a sudden? She lost a finger. I think like even this pose itself could be spread just a little bit more. Kind of that way. Trickling down. There we go. Something a little bit wider, even here too, like with this top hand. Something a little bit more pushed out away from her. Away from her head, you know, just to get that silhouette to read a little bit more. Probably like pulling up the shoulder a bit through here, you know, just like small detail things like that. Dude, like straight up, man, we're watching this sweet cleaned up mocap animation, right? Oh, monkey. We straight up cleaned up mocap animation, and then it just cuts to this. She just turns into basically a 2 control axes rotation. But hey, the feet are still working, which is, it counts for something, right? Dude, does she remind you of somebody in this picture? Hold on a second. She looks like some other fighting character I may or may not have seen. Like, obviously, like this scrunched up like boo-boo face is like all the rage, especially in Overwatch nowadays. She looks like somebody. All right, same stuff we already saw. Just a whole nother outfit though, right? Got the schoolgirl outfit. We didn't see that one. That's a launcher. Sorry, I know I'm like probably like pissing you off with the audio. Hiya! So she steps in, she switches her footwork. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about this because this is actually sliding back. I don't know if like characters react to that when they're up against the victim like that. They're not pushing them back. But yeah, her sliding into that didn't feel forceful at all. This impact. Okay, the launch is pretty good. I mean, if it was me, I'd probably push it just a little bit further. Something that's there. What's crazy is that when you have a weapon that's that small, you're bound to be doing quick hit attacks that feel strong. You're not going to be able to like push it. You're not going to be able to push it and make it quick without people not noticing it, so to speak. Nico says, what exercise can you suggest for mid-level animators to reach this level? Like what this kind of like combo animation you talking about? I mean, well, if you haven't done attacks yet, I would suggest trying them. You know, I would suggest try as many attacks as you possibly can. Do a jump attack, do a standard attack, and do a spin attack. Those are 3 really hefty, good exercises in order to kind of find your ground level of where force comes and goes to, making the character feel heavy, and making like the weight of the character or the mobility of the character seem fine while, you know, utilizing your attacks on top of it, so to speak. I would say, yeah, jump attack, standard attack, and like a spinning attack. Try those. Try those and get really good at that. Spinning attack too. Spinning attack is usually the trickiest ones. Because that's basically all you're really seeing, you know what I mean? Like, here's her jump attack, it's spinning. Here's her standard attacks, here's a jump attack. And there's another spin attack, right? So it's like spins, standard attacks, jump attacks. Okay, here's her super. Let's check out her super. I wanted to look at this one. The initiation is pretty cool. Let's see, the N2. That's cool. I like that jump catch. I just wish that the arm stayed this way. The arm stays that way and the thing drops into her hand. That would have been so tight. But I like the spin into. Ching! She stares deeply into the blade. What is... Oh, it's spinning in her hands. Okay. Bro, I think that's what like the weakest part of this character is just how small that little blade is and how much we're not really understanding what's going into it. So she's not chopping it. It's just saw blade at this point, cutting them down. Okay. Ooh, that was a nice little command grab. Yep. Seen all this. This is more just attack. This is a cool pose. Like I think out of the whole trailer, I really dig this probably the most. The only thing that looks weird, guys, is she's looking dead at us. She's staring straight at my ugly face right now. And she's got a gap in her tooth too as well. But yeah, it's a very strong pose. It's almost very Flash-like, you know, in a way. This is insane. Like the amount of cuts that we are pulling out and pushing in to this is crazy. Pulling out, right? Pushing. Oh yeah, pulling out, pushing in, squeezing in, pulling out. Oh wait, let's just play it first because I know what comes around during the end. That's a crazy ramp speed up through there. Shit. Like Is there ever too many cuts to not understand what's actually happening in an action? That's what I think suffers for this one. It's got like that Taken 3 cutting, you know, Taken 3 editing trick. So this part I got confused. And I think that's due to the victim that they chose and her prosthetics that we're not understanding correctly. I like this. Whatever this is, I like this because this is totally utilizing her whole move set. So that whole stirring up wind shit, I think this is really cool. This is probably the coolest part of it. You know, medium close up. She's actually doing it to us, which is fun. But here's the problem, which I don't like about this is that this feels like she's finished something, right? This last final move that she's done. I like how they're actually utilizing like, you know, her biting down on the weapon. That's really clever. But yeah, like after she's finished doing this, she's doing something again, you know? So like that cut doesn't quite read as, you know, probably the right thing to do. This is an interesting one. Like this crazy shit right here. Cool angle, nice slow-mo, but it's just way too quick. It's way too quick and the camera doesn't follow her. It just cuts to that one. And this is a quick movement, man. Like we would not be able to, like in our neck of the neighborhood, we wouldn't be able to pull something this quick and that fast off. It's either got to go slow motion for about a second or two. You can't just go like slow quick like that. But I love this, dude. I love the follow-up though. That's cool. Bro, I think there's way too many cuts through here. This is cool. That's fine. But end it there, right? You don't even need this. Like, this is the part where it feels very, very duplicated. Okay, guys? You're pulling out. You're pulling in. You're crash zooming in. Next shot. Pulling out, crash zooming in, and then pulling out again. You know, it's just like, you know, it's just way too much of that. So I get it, guys. Capcom, look, your layouts are fucking phenomenal. You do some very tastefully, but sometimes you go way over the edge, man. You really start pushing shit just to show off that you're pushing shit, in my opinion. I think this is where you end it. Like this part, boom. I think honestly, you could have gone straight from here to there. Like you probably didn't even need this shot. But it's right because it shows the information that you need. This little bubble effect is really cool too as well. But yeah, I just don't think they needed this. It felt like a lot of good ideas trying to be meshed into, you know, the amount of time that they had to do this. What does this say? This isn't KO, is it? But what does that say? It's spelling something. Is that just like some zigzags or some shit like that? Cool shot, right? You know, like maybe if there's a little bit more Hadouken in there, could really push that. It like, you know what this feels like, chat? This feels like this. Oh my God. Hang on a second. Hold on, guys. Brother, if I pull this reference out. Hang on. Oh God, we got the I want the ocean dub. All right, ready? Bro. Look at this. Same pose. Same pose with the exception of giving it a Dutch tilt. Right, guys? Yeah. Trust me. What's crazy is that this is my favorite episode of Dragon Ball Z, and I know this episode frame by frame. Nice ending though. That's cool. I like how we all of a sudden go from just like a badass quick martial artist to like a really bubbly, very cheeky character, you know. And again, guys, you know, foot shapes. They can add so much to a character. They should have done the same thing with this one too as well, you know. Bend that out, push that giant toe forward. She's stabbing her head, by the way. Oh, okay, she's pulling the thing out. Okay. Well, if that's the case, man, you should have just had the hook a little bit more further out. Dude, she feels stiff even through here. But I guess that's just kind of like the way our character's supposed to be. It's not supposed to break the spine too much. It feels, I mean, the only problem I have with this shot is it feels very symmetric, you know. It feels very one-to-one. And it doesn't even break out. I mean, I know they're trying to keep everything in the camera, but it feels very, very one-to-one. And then all of a sudden, easy bake oven. Her hair changed. Yay! Even that's symmetrical too.
That sounded kind of cool, right?
That's her victory screen? Okay. Well, hey, 3 minutes of Yasmin, man, and everybody already wants to play her. Yeah. Overall, yeah, very still. I like the design. I think the design is really radical. Like, I love the colors. I like how they're presenting her. She does look very familiar though. I can't put my finger on it, but the face does kind of look a little familiar. I don't know how I feel about, you know, the little weapon, because it's Street Fighter. Who uses weapons in Street Fighter? And the other thing is, like, she's got a lot of smoke from MK1 for sure. You know what? I tell you what, she actually works really well with Kimberly. Like, just kind of like looking at the opposite ends of the spectrum with these two character designs, it fits, you know. Like, I really like the way that she feels like she belongs in Street Fighter 6, no doubt. As far as the move sets though, they're very stiff, they're very quick. I think this is what kind of differentiates her from the pack. But I just wish they could have done a little bit more with this wind movement shit, like this whirlwind kind of stuff that she summons. I feel is really, really nailing on what her moveset could be. You know, I think it's really, really cool. What's up, Tifo? She's dope looking. Yeah, oh yeah, no doubt. She looks cool. She looks great. But yeah, it's just a lot of the movements feel like very, very stiff and, you know, pause. And it's not like I'm saying, oh, she should be bending and stretching and flipping all over the place. I just feel like with that small little hook-a-majigger weapon that she's got, I think it's like it gets lost in translation from what she looks like she's capable of doing, you know. Pretty much the airbender. Yeah. Like, I think if they implemented a little bit more of that stuff, because the big thing is this super, dude. Like, what she's doing here, like, there's a lot of stuff that I'm like, I don't know what's happening. But what she's doing here, this kind of stuff, that's cool. That's like some Tai Chi stuff, you know? Like, I'm down with that. I really like that about her character. As far as the layout and the camera actions, I think they were like overzealous. They really, really put a lot of stuff in there that I don't think even needed to be in there. But other than that, It's a really cool super. Yeah, really bubbly personality, and the feet animation's great. I think that really stands out the most of her. It's like how grounded she is with her feet. But yeah, just a lot of this stuff, it just feels kind of like feels very organic, very strong pose, like some really nice strong poses. This is really great. Like this is awesome, you know? And then we get to this, you know? And we get to this symmetrical stuff. And I'm like, what happened? What happened to the awesome? You know? Like where'd it go? Cute. Cute. I love the colors. I'm an 80s baby, so like she just reeks of my generation. You know? Really does. Yeah. That's Yasmin. Cool character. Looking forward to what people are gonna say about her. And then we got 3 others, right? We got the Kirby guy. We got what's his name? I forgot the other guy's name too. And then we got Tifa. We got Mrs. Final Fantasy VII herself. Everybody's gonna be waiting for that one. But thankfully I've got my animation already out there, and Tifa fans are already pissed. Tifa fans are already pissed, and I don't give a fuck because, like, what'd you expect? If she's in a fighting game, she's gonna get her ass kicked. You know, compared to Ingrid, the last DLC character, she looks like a step down in my opinion. Ingrid animates, yeah. Ingrid was like, dude, nobody saw that coming. You know, nobody saw the Ingrid character making appearance. Nobody saw her aura hitting that hard. You know what I mean? Because everybody thought she was just that one-off character that, oh, from a past fighting game, less popular character. But no, Street Fighter was like, no, let's really do something with this character. They made her all fantasy-like, her smooth transitions, the way that she moves, her projectiles, her dreamy state. But yeah, it's kind of like what I was talking about earlier, Sausage, was like, when you get a schedule to drop DLC characters, you're pretty much like have brackets. So these 4 that are coming out, they're probably getting done anywhere between 3 to 4 months, you know, because you basically have 4 to deliver. And this one's going to be late. Yeah, this one's going to be early August. So we're probably going to play her at Evo. Or no. Maybe she might be playable at Evo. Maybe not. I'll be at Evo this week too, by the way, guys. And then you're gonna have a character trailer dropping for Christmas. But somewhere along the way, when you're either experimenting with a new character or something that's quite not hitting the mark, you tend to reuse a lot of assets, you know? And yeah, I feel like, yeah, the animation bar, so to speak, it really sucks because once you drop out of a season that went pretty hard with all those characters, you're just expected to keep upping the ante, you know. And I think with the Tifa reveal, that ante has significantly been upped. Like where our balls are in space right now, expecting like the best fucking character you've ever seen in a fighting game, and most importantly, how she's gonna play, what she's gonna look like. But yeah, when you drop but when you have other characters attached to that roster, especially a new one, you're looking for something very, very different. And I think Ingrid kind of fit that bill a little too soon for us. You know what I mean? How you say her name? Oh, this character, I think it's Yasmin. Just like Princess Jasmine, but it's just Yasmin. Yeah, I know they're really getting into, look how cute they are. They're incorporating the hook. You're incorporating the hook thing with her hair too. So it's like, you know, this is just straight up Gem is my name. Barbie font, you know, that we're blessed with. I like the pink though. The pink is pretty radical. I dig it. She looks cool. Does she make me excited to play the game? Not really, you know, but I think for pulling out a new character, as Street Fighter's trying to do, like I remember something that they were saying that they're trying not to appeal to the old heads anymore. They're trying to appeal to the new generation, which is, by the way, what you guys got to do eventually when it comes to the next generation. But that's the problem when you make a statement like that and you basically just say, okay, here's a DLC full of brand new people that you've never seen before. You know, you tend to lose your core audience. You know what I mean? So this is supposed to be. All right, guys. That's all I got for Yasmin. Yeah, fun character. I think the world's gonna love her. Your mom, your dad, your grandmother, they're all gonna love Yasmin. They're gonna be rushing to play Street Fighter 6. Yasmin, I wonder if it's Yasmine. Yes, mine. Yes, man. Yes, queen. You should have called her Yes, queen. Yes, queen. All right. Who's the next one? Who's the other big reveal? And then we can start animating. Yeah, GTA 6 dropped. Well, not didn't drop, but they were like, "Oh man, presenting GTA 6 wish list or pre-order date." And the world fucking lost their mind. Let's see. Ocarina of Time, people losing their minds too. Dude, Jarrett, let me, he brought up Ocarina of Time. Let me geek out with you guys a little bit about your Zelda game coming out. We didn't get much, but I was looking over some Zelda shit and I got introduced to this channel that I quickly subscribed to, Zeltick. Okay. So I forgot the name of the channel that does deep dives on Elden Ring and the DLC. You know, like the insane lore. Bro, I didn't know we had a Zelda theorist, man. I did not know we had this guy. So Zeltick, I've been on this shit for about a week, man. And bro, let me tell you something. Here's what I love about Ocarina of Time. Okay. First of all, you know, it's one of my all-time favorite games to play. Second of all, what they said about this game is it is going to be a reborn version. I don't know what the fuck that means, but it better damn well mean remake, okay? When I first watched this shocked the shit out of me because I was like, whoa. And then I was like, this kind of looks like the Unreal stuff that I'm seeing on the internet. But when I started really, really kind of looking at it for what it is, like what we're looking at, he's got fingernails, by the way, too. We could totally be looking at a complete, you know, like reinvention of this game. New mechanics, new locations, new characters, new secrets, like a whole new type of cutscenes, voice acting. Link could probably fucking talk for all we know. Oh, excuse me. For all we know. And dude, I am on that train, man. I'm thinking like Final Fantasy VII remake, but to this game, you know, like to frickin' this game, you know. And if that's the case, sign me up, man. Sign me up. What's interesting about this is that you can totally do every part of this Buffalo, right? You can totally remake every part of this game, and I would not have a problem with it too. Think about it. The dungeons, the music. Obviously, we're going to have Ocarina, right? The timeline. Can you imagine if we got to really fuck with how many timelines we can visit, or if there's like 3 timeline endings, like the original story was supposed to play out? For those of you who don't know, and this is kind of spoiler territory too, people are always like, does Zelda have a canon? Do they have a timeline? And then Nintendo all of a sudden one day said, yes, they actually do have a timeline, but Ocarina of Time actually splits it into 3 timelines. And you're like, what? So can you imagine if they're going to allow us to play through this game and have 3 different endings, you know? Can you imagine if like your choices basically like determine the outcome of what timeline you go through, whether that be young Link's timeline, old Link, or the one where he dies? That would be fucking nuts, dude. And then I'm ready to see like everything in high quality Nintendo sexed up HD. It's going to be insane. Was that we might get some Twilight Princess stuff if that's the case? I don't want Twilight Princess. I want what a Zelda I want what the original Zelda was supposed to look like before they went to the cell shading route. You know what I mean? So like here's what some of you guys don't know, and I'm gonna nerd out with a little bit of Zelda 3 to you guys. So back in the after Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask had so much success, they were like, okay, what's the next Zelda game gonna look like? And around that time, it was like early 2000s, and everybody was going HD. Like the graphics were getting better. PS2 and Xbox were on the scene, killing it with realistic graphics. So initially, people were saying, okay, that's what the next Zelda has to look like. High graphics, realistic looking, you know, like exactly to compete with Sony and Xbox. So they excuse me. So they released a test. Okay. Let's see, Ocarina of Time, or maybe it was just a Zelda test. And it was a short, stupid test. Let's see, it's a tech demo. Here we go. This thing right here. So they released this, and this is all you got around this time. Look at Ganondorf, how shitty he looks. That's all we got. 2000, guys, we were losing our mind over this test footage. We were like, dude, this is the next Zelda. Sign me up. Sign me immediately up. People were expecting this. But what we got was Wind Waker. Totally brand spanking new. And then we were fighting each other. Zelda community was fighting each other. Like, this is not my Zelda. What the fuck? I want the realistic Zelda. What the fuck? Turns out, ironically enough, Wind Waker was actually very good. It's a very good game, but very cell shady, right? We didn't even know about that word until that game came out. Cell shading. What the fuck is it? Chibi Zelda, Chibi Link. We didn't like that. We didn't want that. And then eventually they were like, okay, here's your realistic gameplay. Here's your realistic Zelda. Twilight Princess came out after that. So both sides of the fence got that. But here's the thing. This, I believe, was supposed to be what the new Zelda looked like. And I'm almost wondering if this story is going to have some kind of implementation into what the new one's going to be. Because in Ocarina of Time, you didn't fight Ganondorf like this, right? He didn't have a sword. You didn't duke it out with him. You didn't one-on-one with him. Could they possibly be bringing this into the Reborn version? I sure as hell hope so. That'd be fucking dope. That'd be fucking dope to see, you know, this ugly ass Ganon in Unreal 6 with NVIDIA filters all over it, you know, and I would love to see what they got cooking for this new one. But yeah, this is just interesting. It piques my interest to know how they can really change the better parts of Ocarina of Time to please us old heads with new mechanics that can make it even better. You know, Ocarina of Time is a great game, but it's got its flaws too. One being it's ridiculously simple. You know, it's easy. The bosses are easy. I don't remember ever dying once in Ocarina of Time. The game was so fucking stupid easy. It's ridiculous. That's been a gripe with a bunch of Zelda games until Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom came out for me. But dude, here's the big killer for everybody who's just joining. We're talking about the new Ocarina of Time remake. Here's the big thing. All right, this is what I can't wait. Let's see. Bro, we are going to get this. We are going to get this epic fucking conclusion in a remake. We are going to get this badass crescendo finale of a video game in a reborn version. Now, I'm thinking, even if this was just with a fresh coat of paint, it would still be as epic as I'd like it to be. But what I don't want is just a straight up side by side with a fresh coat of paint. I think they could really, really, really make this final conclusion epic as hell. I'm thinking like Final Fantasy VII remake type of horror, like imagine if you fight Ganon like 3 or 4 times, once as a phantom, once as an illusion, once in his human form, once in his pig form, and then once in a nightmare form, or maybe like a hybrid pig man, like maybe like a hybrid fucking Final Fantasy Ganondorf serpent man or some shit like that. Dude, that would be fucking awesome. I think of all the video games I've ever played, this is probably my favorite boss fight in all of them. It just stands out so much. The ending, the conclusion, getting out of the castle and shit like that. So I didn't even put 2 and 2 together when I watched this game. I was like, I can't wait for that. I can't wait to see that. Thank you. Thought somebody was stealing my stuff for a second. I hope they do the treatment of making the fights more interesting. Yeah. I think Ocarina of Time really suffered from having the fights feel like really slow and really drawn out. Like, I will wait for the boss to get into position. I will use my new tool to hit him and then start wailing on him. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And Zelda does that. Zelda is a very big advocate of doing that throughout N64, throughout GameCube, throughout Wii. Yeah, and that's the thing. The Z targeting was new for the time, but then they just been keeping up with that formula forever. It's like all I got to do is just wait for the attack, dodge around them, hit them, and then kill them, So, I don't know, guys, but let me just say this. Let me just toss this out in the universe, okay? Can you imagine? All right, let's see. Can you imagine if Ocarina of Time all of a sudden just jumped into our car and started playing like a fucking action role-playing game? Can you imagine, like none of that Dynasty Warrior stuff, but can you imagine if they had these kind of mechanics in a game like that? That'd be insane, dude. They're not going to do that, although it would be insane if they did, if it was more of an action-like game. But just think of the possibilities they can do to change this. How really crafty they can get between switching back and forth between your inventory, the hook shot, the bow and arrow, the boomerang. And instead of those items doing one specific thing, except those items doing one specific thing, right? Oh, ads, right? I would say, imagine if they could do multiple things, right? Imagine if you could use the hook shot, not just to get around and pull things to you, but maybe use it as like a global, like a 360 attack, or like a constraint attack, or something to where, the hook shot can basically, you could use it as like an offensive and defensive attack too. So like, imagine if the boomerang, right, is not just used to like retrieve things or blow things away. Imagine you could use it as like an offensive weapon, or something to where it's like you can add elements to it, like fire or ice or just like shadow or whatever like that. You can grab like all the new tools that you acquire. Maybe you can like upgrade them, or like build upon them, so to speak. I hope they're really just like taking everything apart and just starting from the ground up, but still keeping the essence that is Ocarina of Time. They can even talk more about the lore too. They can like really go into a hell of a lot more backstory on like who Ganondorf is, how did he got brought up, how he infiltrated the castle. Like you could play the whole time that he fucked up Hyrule between, you know, the 7 or 8 years that Link went into the future. You know what I mean? You could do all of that shit with this new Reborn remake, but we don't know yet because all we got is this little shot of, you know, Link having a hangover. But, you know, that's it. Like, we don't know because we haven't seen any gameplay yet. But the good news is we don't have to wait long. I mean, we're not waiting years. I literally thought it was going to be in 2027. Nope. No, we get it this year. But I'm really stoked. I'm really stoked to see what they're going to do with that remake because I am a Zelda head, dude. I want it. Lots of good directions. Go if just don't do a facelift. Yeah, I'm hoping not a revamp, you know, because that's a revamp. But if they're like remake, then if they specifically say remake, then you know we're gonna get that. But they said reborn, which is making me scratch my head. Like, what the fuck does that mean? Is that a new terminology? Is that you saying revamp without like softly confirming it, or does that mean remake? I'm thinking reborn must be something, you know, but well, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, dude, this final battle, seeing all those bosses play out, I just don't want it. I don't want to go into this game and be like, oh, right, Z target, and this is how you beat them just like that. Or I got to wait to play volleyball with Ganondorf again. I honestly don't want that mechanic. As very traditional and as very Zelda-esque as it's supposed to be, I don't want to fucking play volleyball with Ganondorf, you know, in the new remake. I want to be surprised. Like, I want Ganondorf to like blow the shit apart and be like, yeah, you think you know how to fight me, asshole? Check this out. Next dimension. All of a sudden he like splits into like 6 Ganondorfs and just like gang rushes me. And I'm like, oh shit. You know, like I don't want to like have the same muscle memory when I'm playing this remake, you know, like, oh, I know how to beat Ganon, just roll up underneath his legs with a Megaton hammer or a Goron sword, broken or not, and wail on his tail. You know, like I don't want that shit. You know, I want something new. Like it would almost be cool if they troll you. You know what I mean? Like they trolled you with what you thought you remembered about it. You try it and they're like, no, F you. F you. Gonna be sick and we get a young Link in a modern look. That's gonna be interesting. Like the whole modern look take on it. The whole modern look take on what Ocarina of Time can be, you know, with like what we're producing in the world of animation now could be amazing. You know, it could be like stupid sweet. I see all those Unreal tests on Ocarina of Time and they look great. I mean, but people are like, not my Zelda. And when I kind of look at that, I'm like, wow, it looks like Unreal. When I saw it, I'm like, looks like Unreal. It looks like a sweet Unreal version. I'm hoping that's not going to be the case. I'm hoping they're going to keep a little bit of stylization in there. I don't want them to go full blown Breath of the Wild. I certainly as hell don't want them to go anywhere near cell shading. But I don't want them to do anything fucking Skyward Sword related. I want them to have like a new, fresh take on it. You know, the best thing that I could think of right now is just kind of what they did with Final Fantasy VII. It's like just from the ground up, like the way they presented it with just the way that it looked, character looking characters with like just like a nice HD update, if that's what you want to call it, but just a fresh human take on what everything would look like in modern times. That's what I would love to see. I would love to see that. So yeah. I'm stoked. I'm psyched. I just don't hope. I hope like it's like Nintendo has a way to try to keep it fun for everybody, keep it for the kids, keep it for the families. Ocarina of Time was like that in many ways until you got to like things like the Spirit Temple or the Shadow Temple, where like everything was like death, nightmare, and gore. You're like, whoa, this isn't your mom's Zelda, right? This is some pretty mature shit, you know. Ganondorf's wreaking havoc, destroying shit. There's like undead corpses under Karaoke Village. It's like, no, I'm sorry, Kokori Village. It's like, dude, you guys are fucked up. What is going on in this place, you know? And then you got like the masked salesmen selling you demonic entities and shit like that. It's really mature stuff, dude. It's like it's almost like I would take all those fan fictions that have been written up in the late 90s, early 20s about what people were talking about Ocarina of Time in that sense, and just dump it all into how they play that story out. But I don't know. We only got a teaser, and from what I'm hearing, is this old man like, you know, in Hyrule, here's a little boy who didn't have a fairy. You know, he's very like storybook-esque, talking about Link in the land of Hyrule, like you're a fucking child, like you're a 4-year-old and shit like that. So that's where I hope it's not gonna go down that, you know, Zelda's for kids route. You know, like, dude, Zelda's not for kids, man. Zelda's for grown-ups and kids alike. But if you're gonna sell it to kids, scare the fuck out of those kids. Fuck your kids, man. Like literally like torment them, you know, ruin their childhood, like really, really fuck them up with a new take on this story, you know. All right, headed out to bed. Keep up the good work. I'll be looking for the vid on YouTube. All right, Jad. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. Have a good one. All right, guys. Shit. I shot my mouth off for about an hour or two. Let's animate, shall we? Let's get on that animation train. I'm sorry, yeah. I'm sorry. Like literally, like somebody said Zelda Ocarina of Time is awesome, and then I geeked the fuck out. I'm sorry, that's who I am. It's my DNA, guys. All right. Let's rock. Looking forward to Zelda. Yeah, me too. You, me both, brother. I'm curious, like, if it's coming out this year, I'm curious, like, so are they going to have another Nintendo Direct between now and the end of this year? Like, what's going to happen there? You know what I mean? But yeah, I wasn't too excited about many of many things that were coming out for Nintendo this year. And I expected just as much from Zelda. I was like, I know they don't have a new Zelda, at least from like, you know, at least ready to be shown about now, because they're not going to play off that card of like, hey, here's a teaser for a brand new Zelda. See you again in the next 3 years, you know? And it's like, bro. Can you show reference? Oh, the reference that I'm using? Yeah. Give me a second. So this is me in my kitchen, jamming out. That's what I'm gonna do with a needle right through here. Totally looks like I'm rubbing one off. I don't have a guitar. I don't play guitar. Yes, I am using some of my reference because from somebody who doesn't play the guitar but loves watching people play guitar, I don't know what the fuck I'm going to be doing with this one. I had to wait till everybody was away. I got my in-laws and for this entire month, so I had to make sure that everybody was out of the house before I went around acting like an idiot. You know, grown ass man in the kitchen. That's the thing I tell animators too. I'm like, just make sure you look left and right before, you shoot reference, especially if you're in public too. I highly recommend don't doing it in public. I had one student, I'll never forget, it was in my class, and we were working on our fight animations or our attack animations. And he went to the park, had a bat, and was basically like shooting reference at him beating the hell out of the ground. And he was in a suit for some reason. And I was like, dude, you look like you're literally like in the mafia killing somebody right now. So to be a game animation, do you recommend you should be playing most of the latest games? You don't have to necessarily spend all your hard-earned money on video games just to say, hey, I'm into games. I'm a gamer, and that'll make me a better like game animator, or I'll fit more into the club by that. Not really. I mean, I worked in games for 6 years, and I barely have enough time to play video games. Only the ones that I really like, But I think the biggest thing is just so if you're looking to enter in the world of game dev or video game animation, one thing that really surprised me is just that you have to know how to speak gaming language, and you got to be a good critique on how gameplay is. You know what I mean? Because I remember when we would do like testing games or like having like game jams where we would just like play a prototype. At the end of that prototype, we were just like, okay, guys, give me your feedback. What feels good? What feels off? What feels weird? I didn't know what to say. I was like, it seemed okay to me. And you're like, well, why? What did you like about it? Or what was confusing to you? So, playing games and coming at it from a critical standpoint usually helps when you're part of those game jams or game testings, But I don't think you have to spend a lot of your time playing video games to necessarily be a good game animator. It's all about you. It's all about your animation, So just knowing, what feels good when it comes to hitting buttons, what feels heavy, what feels smooth. How does a character, like what makes a character fun to play? Why is it fun? If gameplay is solid, why is it solid? Can you pinpoint why? What makes it fun? Is it the animation? Is it the response? Is it the mechanics? Breaking it down in that sense, looking at it from that filter, I think helps you in game animation. And playing games, whether they're good or bad, and kind of understanding what makes it good or what makes it bad or off, usually helps, But only when it comes to developing games and giving feedback. As far as animation goes, really doesn't serve a purpose. At least I don't think. All right, let's get rid of her cloak right now because her cloak's really bothering me. We'll have Nude Hornet. If I want to get some more traffic on my stream, I should just put that in the title. Like animating Nude Hornet. What? Well, thanks for the advice. Another stigma that people believe is that, oh, if I don't play video games, I won't be hired as a game animator. True and false, but most of the time false. I know many of people that we hired that don't play games, but I mean, like all of us, what we do, guys, I barely even play Street Fighter 6, but I just spent like a good majority of an hour and a half talking and bitching about and analyzing and breaking down a character, you know? It's like, I feel like if you have a more of a sense of knowing how to talk about, you know, mechanics and gameplay and observation, you have a way better chance of getting hired, you know, for being an animator. When I got hired for NRS in Overwatch, first thing that they told me was, so, hey, we want to show you something from our game. Tell us about it. I'm like, what? And like, tell us about what you think. Like, what do you see? Can you give us some feedback on this? It was like a scene or a character doing something. And I just wanted to see if I could critique it, make it better, break it down, you know? And that was it. And luckily for me, all those years of teaching anime paid off because, man, I went to town, dude. I cooked them up a laundry list of stuff. And then they were like, okay, we're done. I think I hurt their feelings. But I think that's what they were looking for. They just wanted their feelings to be hurt. They just wanted to be reminded that they weren't the shit, you know. Yo, what's up, Smiley? Yeah, I'm on YouTube too. I am on the tube. What's up out there in YouTube land? I'm not on TikTok. No, not today. See, are we here? Cool. Do. Ah, yes. I can't wait for VF6, but I know I'm gonna get trashed online. Oh yeah, Crossroads looks hot. I tell you what, like that Crossroads trailer, fucking art. Fucking cinema, fucking chef's kiss, man. That whole part where he was fighting that mural, dude, I couldn't have come up with that. I was like, there's no way. I don't even know anybody who could have came up with something that fucking cool. And the crazy thing is that I worked with and I'm friends with the guy who co-directed that. I immediately Facebooked him and I was like, did you have anything to do with that shit? He's like, maybe. And I just like started geeking out like a schoolgirl. I was like, bro, it's the most amazing thing ever. I'm like, is Japan hiring, dude? Can I just fly over there and just like work on just a small thing? It's like, I'll animate a fucking trash can falling over. I don't care how small it is, just so I can be a part of it. It's like, I'll just animate a fucking paper flying off in the wind. You know, you don't even have to give me a guy kicking people's ass. I just want to do something for you guys because that was amazing. It's like, that was fucking amazing. But it's good to see VF back in any way, shape, or form. What's crazy is that the past 2 or 3 years, man, you've just been seeing a surplus of fighting games. You know? That's what impressed the hell out of me, was like all of a sudden everything came back around the same time and more games were being created. It's like 2XKO came out and people were like, what the fuck is this? This is going to be the future of fighting games. And then before it even came out, Tokon came out and everybody just turned coat and said, fuck 2XKO, what is this? You know? That's just the FGC, dude. And then watch, next year, Smash Omega is going to be announced and everybody's going to turn toad again and be like, this is going to be the greatest game of all time. Just you wait, just you watch. Ah! Is this Blender? Yes, it is. Yeah, you know what I love about Blender? Look, I'm animating in a fucking render mode. How about that? Maya can't do that shit. I'm animating in real time while it's rendering. Maya's not so tough anymore. All right, what's up with this neck? Hey! Can be animating Unreal next. It could happen. I have a friend who animates in Unreal, and he's like, the shit I had to do in order how to learn how to animate here is I would never do it again. But what I would say to that is, because anything just in Unreal, even if it's in default, looks hella better. I can see, like, if I can animate something while seeing the final result of it, I guarantee you I'll put a lot more effort and love and work into it. You know what I mean? Have you guys ever been on a production where you're animating something and you're basically animating a blank canvas, you know, with a crash dummy with no face, no rend, no personality? Whoop, here goes my camera. Any of that stuff. And then when you release it to in lighting, it just comes and it looks like 100 times better, and you wish you can go back and touch it again, but you can't. That's what it's like. That's how it feels. But when you're on Unreal, at least you can get closer to the final result, you know? I think you can see her neck with the cloak on. What do you mean? See her neck with the cloak on? Oh, you can't see her neck. Yeah, but I think like I'd much rather just like make sure I'm animating it straight without it breaking throughout the model, you know? And plus, by the way, I don't think her neck needs to come out that far. She's got such a big ass head. Like even this part I think could be tweaked up as well. Like it doesn't need to come out that far. Yeah, I'll probably just do this. I need to get a good camera too. This character is so crazy. I know here Hollow Knight's having a new or Silk Song's having a new DLC that's coming out. That should be fun. Uh-oh. Oh wait, wow, did my stuff, did my hotkey just stop working all of a sudden? It's alright, I got this one too as well. What's wrong with the side camera? It's just old. It's just old. It's like, it's not used to just streaming for a long time. And I think it's got something to do with like how much output my OBS is trying to give it. So if it's streaming for a long time, it'll just glitch up. I tried checking it with just a battery pack and it does the same thing too as well. So it's just the power, because like I can't keep switching batteries into it. I got that damn camera during the pandemic too. It's an okay camera, but I feel like phones nowadays do a way better job taking photos than some of these cameras. There's just too much stuff to even like hearken when it's just coming to take a simple photo with a camera. Not that skilled. How do you decide when you translate a body part versus just rotating? I think like for me, it's just, I just want to make sure I'm getting the movement. And it's easy to get movement when you're translating something. And I think rotation just comes as far as trying to get shape change, you know? But I'm early. If you're asking about this, I'm just very early blocking right now. And usually my method is I'm just trying to flip back and forth and get that nice movement and shape change I'm looking for, if that makes sense. Because sometimes if you just translate something, everything feels too stiff, and you rotate it, everything feels too locked in place, you know? But in this case, like from this animation is going to be crazy. So I need her to be moving and like really moving and fast too. So I just want to make sure that my key poses, like I'm feeling that movement, but I'm also feeling like shape change. Like right now, her like there's this nice bend in her torso, which is cool. And when it comes down, I'm still seeing that same shape. You know what I mean? So I'm probably going to say like, okay, let me grab it and let's rotate it in a little bit. Like let's rotate it to the left a little bit. Let's rotate it down a little bit. So I'm kind of seeing a little bit more. Actually, I don't want her hand to come down that much. Let's see. And I'm not even worried about the fingers right now because those will come for last. This is easy because this character is like pretty fucking simplistic. All about the posing, all about the poses, baby. So I tell everybody, it's all about the fucking posing. It really is. And even if you you push it as far as you think you get and you get into spline, when you start to spline it and start to polish it, you kind of harken back into, okay, my arcs, my spacing, everything has to be clean, everything has to move. And then by adjusting those things, sometimes you lose a bit of your posing. But that's when you come back to your key frames, like, you know, your story beats, like your storytelling poses. As long as you revisit those and you make them as clear as they possibly can and pushed if they need to be, then you're all set to go, you know? Even like right here too, like when she's coming down to strum this thing. I can go to, let's see. I can go to this and rotate it out a little bit. And then as she comes up, I can rotate it back a little bit through here. Cool. Like I tried an idea just off the top of my head on my last stream, and I was like, even though it looks crazy, it's not really making sense. So, you know, let's start off for some reference to make it feel like there's a brain in that character, you know? JuneTENth. Hope you guys had a good JuneTENth. I wasn't working today, so it was a good day. Do 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 do. Yeah, this is just gonna be like something fun I'm trying to do with this character before. I want to do like a little combo attack with her too as well. Got one already like kind of boarded up, but I don't have any practice with this character. That's the other thing too. Like sometimes if I haven't even touched a rig before, if something's fairly new to a rig, I won't just go in and be like, all right, I'm gonna do like an amazing Spider-Man scene and just have him fight like 3, 4, 5 guys with triple, quadruple backflips and swinging through the city. It's like, no, I'll do a simple animation, you know, like either like a pose test or an idle. Something like if they have a weapon like that, just playing around with it, moving it around a little bit too, just to kind of familiarize myself with the rig before getting into like extreme animation stuff, you know. That's what we call prototype animation. But I'll try to make it fun for me. Like I'm not just gonna animate another run cycle unless I'm into that. Like I'm an animator that's like, I fucking love run cycles. Yippee! Oh my God, it's all I dream about. I dream about running. I love runs. I'm running right now. This is my heart's running. You know, I'm running out of time. You know, then that's fine. You can totally, you know, just do more locomotion stuff with a rig. Interesting. Interesting how the menu like disappears when you're making a move on this. Yo, Cash, what's up? What's up? I wonder if they do that in a new Scream movie. I didn't go watch it. I didn't see it yet. I saw they made a parody to White Chicks. That's kind of funny. Nobody remembers. Nobody knows what White Chicks was. Nobody remembers. Nobody was alive back then. Shit. Why am I yawning? Loco. Fever if you're feeling good. Really? Cursor? You know. White chicks with cherry cruise. Yep, that's the one. Hey Brad. Hey Brad, is there something as Animbot in Blender? Yes, I'm using it. It's called Anim Easy. Yeah, you have all these beautiful tools through here. Graph editor, helps you switch between graph editors easy. Marquee button, frame all, nudging back and forth, offsetting how many times you want to, toggle time distance, different keys for in-betweens, inserts, copy and paste keyframes, switching back and forth, like all this good stuff. And selection sets, which doesn't happen, which is kind of buggy, by the way. So, but yeah, highly recommend taking a look at Anim Easy for all your Animbot wants, because once you date Animbot, you don't want to date anybody else, you know. Animbot's not your side chick. Animbot's your honey, you know. So if you're like seeing somebody else, you want to bring Animbot with you, you know. But yeah, check out Anim Easy. Should be like right here. I think I'm spelling that correctly, right? Yeah. animeasy.pro. That's what you want to look at. Default. Animate 10 times faster. I don't know about that. Don't believe all the bullshit you see online. Animate 10 times faster? What? This new rig's supposed to make me a faster animator or some shit? MSTV Puppet Pals. Treehouse Friends. That was it. Oh, that's right. I gotta switch it back. Shit. Jeez, animating somebody jamming out on a guitar, just a whole bunch of like up and down. Check out Animbot now. Anim Easy now. Yeah, I just renewed my subscription. By the way, you guys should check out Animo. That might be the Animbot killer for this new season coming up. I've downloaded it, I just haven't tried it out yet. It seems to be working really well. For a lot of Anim folk. Mm-hmm. Does it become more difficult for you to animate when the viewport FPS gets lower than the scene FPS? Not really. I mean, all I want to make sure is that I'm hitting kind of the movement the way I want to, and then I'll just start retiming it after. Like right now, my timing is not final right now. I'm just trying to get the feeling there, and then I'm gonna go back and then start stretching out some of this to make it feel a little bit heavier and stuff. Because yeah, right now as I'm playing it, like I think it's 24 frames a second, but I'm basically doing it on every single frame. Like I'm making a new keyframe on every single frame right now, and it's just like stupid fast right now, you know. And then when you start play blasting it, you'll also find that depending on what FPS you're using, it might even look even more different than how you're playing it back in real time. That's usually the case for everything. Like even though I'm animating on video games on 60 frames per second, but my computer can't play that back at 60 frames a second. Even when I render it, and play blast it, it's not going to be 60 frames a second. The only time I see it 60 frames a second is when I'm playing it in game, you know. But you can only just do like the best that you can. I think the biggest thing is just because most people are just like, okay, I'm animating 24 frames a second. I want it to look like this, or I want it to feel like this. Why isn't it feeling like this? Because most people just hurry up and rush to finish it and start playing it back without actually just going towards the timing, making sure that the timing is feeling right. And you can get a lot of subtle stuff I believe when it comes to speed, heaviness, beats, readability, and blocking alone by just scaling or just like moving and scaling the timing of each keyframe. And same thing goes with reference too. Like I might use reference on a frame by frame. I will pose my reference frame by frame. You know what I mean? Like I will literally do it frame by frame. But by the time when it comes to like render it, it's not going to look correct. It's not going to look correct, or it's not going to give this character believability in the sense of timing and weight, because I'm just doing me. I'm recording me on 24 frames a second and playing it back on 24 frames a second. And when I bring it into my character, it's either going to be too fast or it's going to be too not matching what that character is supposed to feel like. So that's why essentially reference is considered as a blueprint, because it gives you action. It gives you how, you know, like for me, like it gives you a basic information of how a character is supposed to move. But it's your job as an animator to push that feeling further, you know, or to make it more enhanced and to break reality, you know, like to add the principles in order to give it that animation illusion that we're all used to seeing. You know what I mean? So like the reference one-to-one, it never works, in my opinion. It's only there just to show me the feeling that I'm looking for, but then I got to start pushing and polling things, you know? I got to start retiming stuff. even if you were to use mocap, you know, because when mocap came out, people were like, oh, that's it for us animators. We could just pack it up, man. Fuck Andy Serkis. Fuck Lord of the Rings. Fuck Transformers. We're done. We're out of here. But no, like once you get mocap in a 3D space, you're like constantly refining it. You know, you're constantly either pushing stuff, retiming stuff, cutting stuff, trimming stuff, scaling stuff, making things faster. Like I can get Jackie Chan or I don't know, Tony Jaa or whoever in a mocap suit and say, okay, dude, throw me the fastest spin kick that you can. And in my line of sight, it would probably be like, wow, that was fast. But when you get it into 60 frames a second or 30 frames a second for that matter, it's going to slow down. You know, it's going to look weird. It's going to look not right for a video game. So you will have to play with the timing no matter what, you know? That's what I feel was a big thing of MK1 because we were keeping it kind of very, very cohesive to real life. And a lot of people were bitching and complaining about it because they said the game felt slow, you know? What? What? Oh my God, here's some more bitchiness happening right here. So what? It doesn't work in what? My action editor? But it works over here? Yeah. That is weird. Actually, I like that pose a hell of a lot better. Spacing is really hard for me. Yeah, you're not alone, but you start to kind of understand it a lot more with time and practice. Because it's really hard. Like I wish I could like touch somebody and be like, all right, you're ready for Pixar. You know, like I wish I'm able to teach you Kung Fu in a second. But ultimately, people tend to like take the principles of animation as kind of like a literal type of learning method. Like as long as I read about it and listen to everything that Richard Williams says and memorize everything that Ollie and Frank Thomas talked about and, you know, learn not to gimbal lock and learn the geometric rate or the speed of how this thing is supposed to move, yada, yada, yada. Like that's not, you're not gonna get good at that by just like memorizing lines or, you know, like talking about it. You gotta do it. You gotta feel it, you know? You know, I think like in 3D, I've kind of grown to adapt to knowing visually what I'm looking for. And it's funny because I used to want to be a 2D animator, and 2D animators worked on X sheets. Old piece of paper that basically they timed it out before they even drew anything, which was like God mode to me. I was like, how the fuck do you guys do that without changing shit? And then I was listening to a lecture with Eric Goldberg, and I asked him that same question too. I'm like, how do you guys do that? And he's like, practice. You gotta practice. I can't do an Eric Goldberg impersonation, but Yep, it comes down to timing and spacing, really. But then when you just think of animation as just that timing and spacing, you lose the character. You know what I mean? So it's like, I remember like one of my recent students was telling me that too. He's like, I'm trying to put these elements into my animation, but it's like I'm losing my fucking posing, you know? And it's like, I get it. If you're looking at one small part of the body and you're like, I just want to make it as perfect as I possibly can for spacing and timing and arcs. But then when I play it, my animation doesn't look good. It's like, yeah, because you're looking at the whole picture now. You know, you're marqueing and cropping the entire performance down to the elements of animation. You know what I mean? And that's why when I always talk about why posing matters so damn much, it's because getting that character in the very beginning and then going in with all those elements. Let's see, am I seriously on that bandwagon right now? Hornet rocking out. Oh my god, I barely even got a keyframe on that one. Yep. Enemies. Check it out now. Yeah, right. I wish they were sponsoring me. I've never had a sponsor. I've never had anybody who's like, yay, say this and we'll pay you. Nope, not that guy yet. I mean, to be honest, like when I was working at Anim, like I reached out to their support many times, and they're very just. I don't want to say like they have all the solutions and the answers, but they're very kind of passe about why things either don't work or, you know, or not quite, you know, working well with Blender. Is because it's an add-on, you know, and Blender's like all these versions are coming out really quickly, so there's not much support for it. There's probably just like maybe a team of 2 or 3 people on this thing, and even they don't have it all figured out. There's like a lot of I'm not trying to promote this as like this is the official great Anibot of Blender. It is an Anibot like, but that's not to say it doesn't come without its problems, you know. You know, because there are bugs on this tool that don't want to play nice with you sometimes. I'll definitely have. That's the dream. I'll just be making videos to you guys and stopping you every 5 minutes to tell you about this brand new food supplement that I've been taking every day. It has plenty of good nutrients, and you know, makes your tushy really happy. You know, I wouldn't be caught without a pair. Be like selling, promoting boxers and underwear and dog food, you know. So you want to be a better animator? Feed your dog and cat this, because happy pets make senior animators. Make you 10 times healthier. Really? Oh, I was about to say, bro, I just had one. It's gonna tell me two? It's crazy. All right, thank you for the stream. Have a good night. See you. All right, Tifo, thank you for stopping by. Hopefully helped. Check out Anim Easy. Let me know how. Are you animating in Blender by chance? I see you. You're very like every time like we're talking, you're always like expressing like your interest in learning Blender. That's the case. Yeah, hit me up if you need any help with that. Whoa. She looks like Eve. Looks like Eve from Wall-E. See, now it starts working again. That's what's so weird. Ah! That's another thing I hate about Blender is like its auto selection. Just recently watched Wall-E, my childhood movie. Wall-E's a good movie. Wall-E's a fantastic. It was probably like one of my top Pixar movies. You know why? For me, it's a pantomime movie. That movie says a lot without saying anything. Yeah, Pixar used to have some special stuff. They really did. But then, man, oh man, the competition started coming their way. Oh my God, that. One more. Since 7 after 12. Yeah. Just put this last pose in there and sync it up. Let's put a breakdown in there. Yeah, I was trying to was hoping I was trying to like rip out like 3 animations in 3 hours, but I got a late start on all these. I'm too busy doing Anim breakdowns. Let's see if I could do this with this real quick. Let me save this. Mm-hmm. Select bones. Looks good so far. I mean, yeah, it's just like just blocking them out is like really funny. Let me. See if I can just grab these bones by themselves. Think if these go the opposite way, which I don't know if they have. Okay, they kind of have it. Let me see. Select bones. There we go. Yeah, that's what I want. Just let's see, select these bones. Just select these bones. There you go. Give it a little expression in there. Let's see. E. Let's see what it looks like with the cloak. Ow, 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 ow. Where is it? Where's the accessories at? There it is. There we go. Hang on a second. All right, ready? Rock on! one of the quick whatchamacallits, one of the quick guitar cuts. I got 4 cuts I want to animate with her. 2, 3, 4, 5. I take it back, 5. I got 5. So this is gonna be 1 in 5 cuts of her doing like guitar moves with her needle. So should be fun. Alrighty. Cool. At least we know we could animate this rig. At first I was like, this is just way too much shit to keep track of. But the good news about this character is that she's pretty simplistic. There's like, besides just the cloth that we're gonna have to deal with in another time, everything's just straightforward with this character. You know, there's nothing like too mechanically, too overcomplicated about her movements or the character just in general. All right, guys. Oops. Maybe I can jump back in on this. There we go. All right, dudes, it's after 12:30. I gotta get to sleep. I'll try to get back on Sunday. I'll try to stream Sunday if I can. We'll like open up a service, and then yeah, no fun. But yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out for the stream. Good luck on everybody with what you guys are doing. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you to all the new followers and new subs. Appreciate you. As always, and yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, have a good night, have a killer weekend. We'll see you soon. All right, good night, Stigraph. Thanks, guys.